Today. I think normally this is the point where I ask our host Ben, say hi Ben. Ben's working on his mic over here. I think normally this is the point where I ask Ben what our schedule is for today. But I think Ben is working on our mic. Ben, what's our schedule for today? What are we doing today?
You're speaking later.
I'm speaking later, so I'm giving a presentation later. But first, we start off with the news, right? We start off with
That's
lightning
right,
news.
as usual. We will be going over a set of links that we've collected of the latest events.
Cool. And then after that, sounds like I'm giving a presentation.
That's right.
I'm going to be redoing a presentation I gave at Baltic Honey Badger, not last week, but the week before. Yeah. And then I think is that it? And then maybe we'll have some time for questions from the audience. Is that
That's right.
Okay, great.
And as with the spirit of Socratic seminars, we invite all discussion and all conversation so you can comment on these subjects as they come up. We're lucky to have some of the authors of the software in question in the audience, so local experts here, and I'm excited to hear from them and you all. Thank you.
Great. All right. Oh, I didn't introduce myself, I don't think. I'm Nifty Nye. I work on Core Lightning, and I live in Houston, but Austin's great. Okay. Cool. So first thing up, news. The Geyser Fund Lightning Grant recipients have been announced. Do you know anything about this, Ben? Should we just walk through it together, just do a discovery?
I'm familiar.
So does anyone know in the audience, maybe you know what the Geyser grants are? Can talk about it? Zoom in. Control plus. What are we looking for? Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Cool. That is a lot better, isn't it? All right. It looks like they gave away 100 million sats, which I believe that's equal to, is that a Bitcoin? I think that's a Bitcoin. 45 selected projects, 6 continents represented. Cool. So who received these grants? Let's see. So that they talk about it, who contributed, who get stuff. Let's cut it out to the group fund projects. Are these who won, or are these just announcing all the? These are the winners. Okay. It looks like something called Manchukura is enabling Africans to send and receive Bitcoin via SMS, so you don't need the internet or smartphone. That's pretty cool. So you can check that out at 8333.mobi. Sticking with the SMS theme. It looks like the other winner, so number 2 would be Fight for the US Dollar, aiming to bring monetary fundamentals to Bitcoin with a documentary. So there is a documentary link here, I guess we can look at. Do we want to look at this? We can click on it. I don't know. Sounds interesting. There's a what? There's a lot on here? There's a lot of winners. That is a lot of winners. I thought there were 3. There's not 3 winners. There's 45 winners. There's groups of winners. Okay, we're not going to go through all of them. Sorry, guys. Okay, top 3, though. Paco, Run with Bitcoin, gained a lot of attention, helping do stuff on Africa. Is this like the Africa section? Maybe this is the Africa section. Anita Posh, that's great. Anita got some money from Geyser. Group 2 projects. Cool. Okay, so there's a bunch of projects. It looks like people are giving out money for, it looks like not just Bitcoin things, but Bitcoin, Lightning, on the ground, community fundraising, community efforts, etc. Cool. Okay, what's next? That's cool.
Next up, we have Enigma, which is written by our own super testnet, described as encrypted telegram over Nostr, which integrates Lightning payments using LN bits.
Oh, this was the thing. Cool. Do you want to drive?
Sure.
Do you want me to drive?
You can use this mic or that one.
I don't know how to. Do you want me to sit in your lap? No.
Use this mic.
Okay. So I'm going to do a couple of things. Where's the Notion file? Is this the Notion file?
That is the Notion file, yeah.
I released this under a NIM, Brill Satin. So I'm going to change this on here to the NIM. So for purposes of publicity and stuff, SuperTestNet did not make this app. Brill did. But the app is enigma.io, and it is a Telegram clone. So watch this. This is my favorite thing about it. This is the first time this browser has ever visited this website, and it already has an account. Can you believe it? Isn't that awesome? Like, just create an account. That's the power of Nostr and using like public keys and private keys as accounts. So she's got an account over here, And got a little auto-generated icon. She can give herself a display name. Let's call this Litdevs. And submit that.
Luckily, the private key is hidden by the stop sharing link. So.
And you'll notice, actually, I'm going to Control++. Check it out up there. Change your name to Litdevs. It dumps you into this chat room where you can talk to other people. This is me. This is Brill Satan. Well, this is my name, I guess, for this particular project. Every account, so to speak, comes with a Lightning wallet up here. Litdevs currently has 0 sats. You can tip people on their profile. You can direct message them. And, hi, Brill.
Do you have to pay something to send a message?
Nope. Messages are free. But yeah, you can tip people, and if you do a DM like this, it's end-to-end encrypted, so no one but Brill can read that. If you click on a message, actually, you can see the encrypted version on Nostr.com. So this is what the IRS sees. But you see, Brill sees, hi Brill down there. So that's kind of neat. Public chats like this one are not end-to-end encrypted. They are publicly visible. And as you can see, there are bugs. People are finding them all over the place. I've got stuff to fix when I get home. But yeah, that's Enigma. It is a Telegram clone that doesn't share your phone number with everyone. And it uses end-to-end encrypted for DMs, as well as public chats. And you get a Lightning wallet with tipping support. So, any questions?
Can you show the wallet?
Yeah. The wallet is based on LN bits. Well, it is LN bits. And you just creates a wallet for you on legend.lnbits.com. Eventually, you'll be able to you hook this up to your own node, but that's not a feature yet. You just got to use this one.
So it's custodial.
Yeah, it's custodial unless you eventually hook it up to your own node, which you could do right now by replacing the stuff in your local storage with your own info, because it's just using what you have on your browser. But eventually, I'll make that automated or show buttons for it. So.
And aside from fixing bugs, do you have any particular feature development plans that you want to?
Yeah, some of the things, you can't currently at people, but you can reply. So I'm going to make it so you can at someone. And then they'll get a little green notification over here that tells them, so-and-so added you. And yeah, I don't know, other things, whatever you would want in a messenger and want to be in this. Sticker packs are on the to-do list. Yeah, we do have GIF reactions, so you can select a GIF and then reply with that. And if you upload images into this thing, there are GIFs. If I scroll up far enough, some people have been posting GIFs. Maybe not. But there is GIF and image support if people were using them, and YouTube support. Like you can do a picture-in-picture thing with YouTube, and put that in a little frame and then drag it around. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, it's got lots of features and more coming. So if you had a GIFs, like there's one, you can use those as GIF reactions to people. Yeah, that was Brill because someone said they had 69 sats, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. So anyway, that's Enigma. Any questions? There's one. Topher?
What is the GitHub? Can you show the GitHub link?
Yeah, the GitHub is github.com/brilliancebtc, maybe Bitcoin, /Nostergram. That's the GitHub. And if anyone wants that, you can search. There's probably only one project called Nostergram, so you can do that. But the production title is Enigma. So there you go.
Great work.
Thank you.
Nice. All right, next up we had, I saw this earlier this week, I think, mempool.space has a new dashboard for the Lightning Network. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I think one of the things that they launched, which was new information. So there's been Lightning Explorers, I think, around for a while now. But the new and interesting information that mempool.space exposed for the first time is where everyone's Lightning node is hosted. Did anyone else spend some time poking around at this? Am I the only one that noticed this? No. I mean, I think I saw people talking about it on twitter.com. Basically, it shows I think this is the capacity. So this is like, it looks up the IP address that every Lightning node is advertising and its addresses, which is public information because it's in your gossip, which means everyone gets it. And then I think they organized it by capacity. So based on where your Lightning node is and how much channel capacity they have identified as being with yours, they kind of made a little chart. So looks like there's a lot of capacity on Google Cloud. It's bigger than Amazon.com. I feel like that says something. I'm not sure what exactly.
Now your homework, if you're running any of those nodes, this is self-host.
Uh,
Little switch to sort nodes by capacity.
which one? Where? On point here, down here,
right
click.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? What does this do?
By node count.
Oh, this is by node count. Oh, so this is actually like how many nodes. Interesting. Okay, so now Google is not number one. I feel like this is a more accurate representation of where things are happening. That makes sense. Actually, where is Google? That's kind of funny. Where did they go? They're gone. Oh, they're way down here. Okay,
It's just-
they're at 2%. Interesting. All right.
Probably some of the corporate node operators are running Google.
I feel like people were trying to use this graph to say like, oh no, Lightning's not like decentralized or whatever. But I don't know, guys. This looks pretty damn decentralized to me. Like, there's not what Amazon, the biggest piece is 16%. I think that's pretty. I'm sorry. The other. Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Okay. I see. Yeah. You guys make a really valid point there. I mean, don't know how I could have just kind of skimmed over that. All right. That was my bad. Cool. Okay. Yeah. But I think they have other data in here too. But I think this was like the most new and novel thing. Is there anything else that
That's it.
I
Yeah.
should point out? Bless you.
So now the Lightning image generator bot.
I don't know what this is.
So someone connected Lightning payments to support DALI 2 generation.
Should we click the link? That's going to open up my Telegram. That's okay. Tested with Phoenix, Sense Telegram AI image generation with Bitcoin payment. So we could text them on Telegram is what you're telling me, and I can get Lightning if I pay. I mean, I can get a DALI 2 image if I pay the Lightning invoice that comes back.
Yeah, you can submit a prompt and payment via Telegram and get your photo back. That's like arbitrary novel image generation for Bitcoin.
That's really cool. Okay, we'll have to play with this.
I've been power using it all week.
What have
Nice.
you been doing with the images you got?
Most of them are terrible.
Uh-huh.
Every once in a while, I get like a good one and like show it to people who don't care. I think they're cool.
That's cool. Do you have like a
Art, man.
little, are you like a little cork board, you're printing them up? Sorry.
Now we're talking.
NFT assets. All right. Yeah. So I'm such an image gen skeptic. Not so like.
I mean, some of them are really good and some of them are not. I find that Midjourney works like a lot better or cooler or more interesting as far as the generated images and like how specific you can get with it. Like you can, say like, 8K, you can say like 50 millimeter lens, you can say like style of Salvador Dali, like you can put all these different tags on it. But I believe, I don't know if anyone's done like a lightning about for Midjourney yet.
Interesting.
Why? Go ahead.
The profile picture for Brill Satan was AI generated.
Nice. Why skeptical? Pass. All right.
It clearly does a great job. Don't get me wrong. It seems like the tech is doing exactly what it promised to do. I guess I don't know. Okay, cool. Fluttermint. What is Fluttermint? Fluttermint is a Fedimint wallet in Flutter and Rust, powered by Minimint. Paul's got some notes. Paul says JustGen generates language bindings. Okay, what am I looking at?
Those notes are not, don't want to read those.
Yeah, so this is very important Justin's notes, I believe.
We're skimming. Are there notes? Is there
Justin's notes.
That readme was written for me and Paul, basically, to remember how to run the app.
Justin, do you want to talk about this?
So it's a reference.
Over here.
Don't be
Maybe
shy.
you can scoot.
Oh, like,
Yeah, so this is like a reference Fedimint app made in Flutter, which is a really cool framework for building mobile apps. It's like a kind of a better version of React Native, in my opinion. And it's really nice. It has really nice interop with Rust, so you can like compile Rust code, and then there's something called FFI, foreign function interface, that you can call Rust code from, and so it has a thing that can generate Dart bindings, so you can like generate an SDK basically from Rust code. So it's really nice. All the business logic is in Rust, all the UI is in Flutter. So yeah, it's neat, and it's getting to the point where it's usable. We're going to demo it at a conference in October 1st, just as like just a demo end-to-end, set up a Fediment federation, put some Bitcoin in it, allow people at a conference to buy coffee, stuff like that, using this app, and then yeah, hopefully there are no horrific hacks during the process. But it's the first attempt, and so Paul is basically responsible for this. He's done all the hard work. So too bad he's not here, but he's done a great job.
Nice. Sounds reckless.
Cool. So that's Flutterment. Is it available publicly? Where can people get it? Is it?
It's on GitHub.
It's on GitHub, and there's instructions, Paul's notes on how to run it. So
Yeah, we'll put up stuff on like
test flight,
test flight, stuff like that soon, but not yet.
not yet.
Yeah, you can see we're trying to figure that out.
Cool. All right, great. Thank you, Justin. That's the wrong button.
Next,
Okay.
we have Sats Overflow.
This looks a lot like Stack Overflow. Is it? No, it's not the same.
I think it's
okay.
it's definitely does not infringe on the copyright or other trade secret.
Logo, I have a new logo, I'm gonna put it in the next page.
Did you? Is this yours? Are you gonna come talk about it? Great. Can someone explain the Ethereum merge?
Okay, yeah.
Please explain this in plain English.
someone
What does
wants
it
to,
mean, and how will it affect? Someone,
buy-
I think they meant to write Bitcoin right here.
If you want to like
clearly
sign up an account and
how
buy
it'll
something, you can
affect
try.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, so basically it's just like a market where people can post questions and the answers have a price on them. And if you want to see the answer, you have to pay for it. And there's like a reputation rating system based on the feedback that people post, the feedback, like the up or down votes. And it's all Lightning payments.
Cool.
And
I'm gonna
yeah,
answer this one.
so you can earn money basically if you know how to answer questions.
Wait, so who pays? People pay to see if you answer it, and then people pay to see what you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
and you can set whatever price you want.
Let's click on that.
We're clicking on one. We're clicking on, what's the best way to introduce your children to Bitcoin?
So here we have an answer.
Buy this answer. Wow, it's got it seems very complicated. This one's 1,000 sats.
Sets the cost, right?
The person who answered who posted the
Satoshi's answer costs 2,000 sats. Wow, no one's like that one.
Yeah, you
though.
can choose whatever price you want if you're.
I don't have an account. Why do I need an account to pay a Lightning
Because
invoice?
there's like a database that records like who paid for what already. So like if you paid for something, then you have access to
I
it.
see, I see. You can't just like pop in your proof of payment on, okay.
Not yet.
Cool.
But yeah, if you want to try it, you can sign up like really quickly. If you have like someone has like a wallet, we could do it right now.
I don't know if I have
I
a
don't know.
wallet. That's embarrassing. This is like, I've got a node. Does that
And
count?
also like there's a user sign up. So like if you sign up a new registration, I think it's like 10 sats to register a new
Wait, it
account.
costs money to register?
Yeah.
Wow, what a racket.
I don't. Yeah.
Like,
I'm making. Well, I have a database to maintain, so I'm paying for it.
I thought I clicked on sign up. Oh, okay. Wait, I'm actually doing this.
You can put a fake.
I don't think
Yeah.
so, I think you're faking it.
I don't know, we could sign up. This is hard, guys. Okay.
I disagree with this style of password validation.
Save forever.
Test this.
Is
So
someone?
here's the payment. All right.
Hell yeah. Okay.
So yeah, this needs to like be like auto refresh, and there's like a lot of improvements.
Wait, I have to refresh it. I
Yeah,
it's the
yeah,
button, the big
yeah.
blue button. Gotcha. Okay, wow. All right, I'm in. Buy this answer for 21 sats. Do we have a? Do I have to refresh again?
Yeah. Yeah. Is it page not like letting you scroll
refresh?
down? You can just press Control
Well,
R if
it's
you want.
It's
control.
down.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It just doesn't scroll. There's some user feedback. For kids, recommend Bitcoin Money, A Tale of Bitville, Discovering Good Money by Michael Karas, the Bitcoin Rabbi. All right, cool.
It looks like a good answer.
4 upvotes,
Nice.
so I can upvote it 5. Nice.
Yeah, and yeah, you can like see the person's reputation is there. So like if you give him a downvote, his rating will change like instantly.
Whoa, it went from 4 to 3.
Oh, 5 to 3. Went from 5 to 3. When you went from
Oh, because I see it
yeah,
nets
you
it
can,
out.
you can also
I
unvote. Like if you click upvote again, or like you can
see. Sorry.
whatever. Oh, hit it one more time. Just, yeah. There. So you can unvote. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't earned any. It's
Yeah.
cool. All right.
That's all.
Thank you so much. It's
Nicely
super
done.
fun. All right. We'll log off before I get more distracted.
And now we'll be talking about Albi.
Albi, the Lightning browser extension, just released. It looks like version 1.15, codename Rainbow North America and the Pelican. New features and notable changes. Tipping support on SoundCloud. That's cool. Support for Tor browser. Wow, that's pretty nice. That's a big one. Okay, so Albi now is supported on Tor browser. Stuff just works. Easier for websites to detect it. I don't actually use Albi. Does anyone in here use or build on Albi? I know they're trying to be the MetaMask for Lightning. Is that might not be their tagline?
So it looks.
It, it is a fork of MetaMask. No, it's not. It is. It's not. I don't know. Wait.
I think it is a fork of Jewel, which is a fork of MetaMask.
I see. Okay. This is how rumors get started. Okay. But it is a. Again, this is how rumors get started. Guys, we have no idea. All right, it's
Well,
cool.
and-
This
and
is
then-
a Lightning browser extension, though. Always cool. Check it out. Here's the things that they've. Sorry.
Yeah,
Speak
just
to this
they've
board.
implemented and integrated many of these technologies that we've been discussing over the past few months, and I think that's creates an opportunity to leverage them in other ways.
Yeah, really cool stuff. Great. Awesome. So check out their latest version, which now has support for the Tor browser, which is pretty cool. Oh, okay. More stuff from Albi. Introducing Saturn, Value for Value podcast analytics. So this is a web app that lets you easily analyze how much money your podcast is earning you. And it looks like it tells you from who. I don't know. I have some thoughts about that. Top contributors. How does it know who is donating you money if it's all over Lightning?
I think you type it in.
To where?
You associate the payment with an identity.
Oh,
I think when you're like doing the payment, I think it is a form.
all right, guys, come on. What are we doing? Okay. I guess it's nice to be recognized for your contributions. I guess that's what's happening. Okay. Cool. Great. This one's really cool. If you're running a podcast, maybe check out the Saturn app and Value for Value stuff. Does anyone know what Value for Value is? I feel like I've heard this term a lot.
We have talked about it a bit. It's streaming payments to podcast services, so that you don't have to face the prospect of a large fee to pay to listen to a podcast. You just listen to whatever you like to listen to, and the funds will be deducted to your account relative to the amount that you listen to that podcast or those podcasts.
So you're paying value for the amount of time that you get value out of the podcast instead of.
The most normal metaphor I heard for it is like similar to busking. So like if you're watching someone on the street performing and you get value out of it, then you give whatever you felt that was worth.
That's cool. Cool. Great. Okay, what's next? Send faxes with Bitcoin. Oh, this is great. Send faxes with Bitcoin fax. Plus. So we can pick where we're sending it from. Let's send it from the United Kingdom. Oh, this is where you send it to, and you pick a PDF, and then you send it. I don't actually know.
Do we have a fax number? I'm
I
not
feel
sure.
like, isn't it like Japan still uses faxes for everything? 'Cause that's like the way that they do life. I don't know. So Japan would probably be more likely place to have a fax to. Imprint, what does that mean? I don't know. I'm gonna click. Oh, it's from Simon Mails in Berlin, Germany. Hi, Simon. Cool project you made. So I'm guessing. Oh, do you think that we can send him this? Do you guys
Yeah,
think
so
this is
this is a great example of integration as an opportunity for development, right? Like bring the old world and the new world together.
Surely this is a fax number, right? 49 is Germany. Guess. I don't want to open up my files. It's fine. All right, cool. Great. Next time we'll pick a PDF. There's no like point and click. All right, cool.
Go get the Bitcoin PDF from bitcoin.org.
Let's It's not a bad idea, but can I, let's see.
Yeah.
We can move to the next topic.
Next
Let's move to
up
the
is
topic.
Amboss.
Amboss is on here because they just launched a new project, a new product, I should say. It's in beta. All right, I'll like zoom in a little bit. Amboss has a Magma thingamadarn. Magma is a Lightning marketplace. Currently, you can buy channels. And they just added this new thing called Lightning Swaps. I get to do a Lightning swap when I was in Riga, hanging out with Justifer, and I was complaining to him because I did not have any funds in my on-chain wallet. And he's like, I have a thing for you, Lisa. So I got to do a beta swap and get like 50,000 sats back onto my on-chain wallet by sending a Lightning payment. It's pretty nice. Cool. So I think the way that this works is you can do a swap with a different node on the network. So you can figure out what node you want to do a swap with and kind of see what they're charging for it and how much capacity they have available and pay them to send you on-chain funds to any address. And in return, you send them Lightning payment, I think. Yeah, so you convert Lightning to savings. It seems like it's only one way. I understand that there is Lightning Loop, which I have never used, but I think you can loop in and out. Ryan, is that correct? So on Loop, out is significantly more popular, but out means you have money in Lightning and you would like to convert that into funds on chain. So someone gives you a Lightning invoice and you give them a Bitcoin address, and when you pay the Lightning invoice, then the money appears at the Bitcoin address magically. Looping back in would be you have money on chain, you're going to pay on chain funds to someone, and then they're going to pay a Lightning invoice that you've given them to basically push Lightning funds back to you, which is cool. Anyway, so now you can do it using Magma, which is a Lightning marketplace. Okay, cool. What's next? Oh, hey, this is my thing. This is a release we did for Core Lightning 22 days ago, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, version 1.0.12, Web 8 init. If you guys didn't hear, forget Web 3, Web 2, Web 5. We're going straight to 8. It's named by Addie, our Summer of Bitcoin intern. So thank you, Addie, for the great name. A lot of cool stuff in here. Some of the stuff I'm going to be showing off later, which is like Bookkeeper. We added Commando. There's zero conf channels are possible for whitelisted peers. This was much requested, my understanding, by the LSP set, which we'll talk about in a second. How am I doing on time? Maybe we should keep going. Fix a crash in PSBT stuff. Cool.
We'll hear more about that in Lisa's talk.
Great, cool. Yes, new version of Core Lightning out. Also, speaking of new versions, I think there's now a new version of LDK out as of 2 days ago. There have been 23 commits since then. I don't know what's new in here. I think you pulled some stuff out maybe that's new in the LDK.
Just a note that it adds support for creating, receiving, and relaying Onion messages. So.
Is anyone here from adding support? Do you have some comments on this, Jeff? Jeff works on LDK. I guess that explains the saturated with messages joke name. Okay. I'm sorry, that was a... Oh, I see, yeah. Cool. Anything else we want to highlight other than the message stuff, or? Bug fixes and performance improvements. Cool. Okay. Great. There's more stuff here. Okay, and then last but definitely not the least is that LND now has a public beta as of 15 days ago. LND v15.1-beta is the first minor release of the 15 cycle. So this one also includes support for zero. Wait, the other one has zero conf channels. Did we talk about that? Yeah, I think so.
We talked about it when it was pending, though.
Yeah, but we had zero conf channels, I think, on Core Lightning also. So zero conf channels in 15.1 beta, SCID aliases, which is part of zero conf, so you can't really have one without the other. Switches to taproot addresses everywhere, and some optional database migration stuff. Ryan, do you have anything you want to add about this release?
The coolest thing by far
Oh, they're here.
is the optional database thing is finally going through and cleaning up like your old transaction data. People are seeing like
90% decreases in database size, like from 20 gigs down to 200 megs type stuff. It's pretty cool to see. So I think, I don't, or maybe I'll send it to the Austin, the Litdevs Telegram or something. One of my team members did a thread of all the people that tweeted holy shit, my database just dropped 10 gigs, which is pretty cool. So it's just a long time coming, finally cleaning up tech debt that had been there for years.
Cool.
Nice. Moving towards set it and forget it. Lightning nodes. That's good. Great for self-hosts. Yeah.
SMD. Okay, great. LND release notes. Check out the latest version of LND and maybe see if you can get a slimmer database. Great. What is this? This is track payments in LND.
Right.
By
so
Garo.
this is a new API that was merged into LND, which allows for tracking all payments that come to your node. So if you're writing a plugin, you can react to and track any number of payments and have some kind of aggregate, or you can have broad effects of that rather than just specific to a certain channel.
Is this routed payments too?
I think it is. Ryan, do you know the answer to that?
I don't think it's for routed HTLCs. I think it's just for a payment that you're making yourself.
Any attempted payment to your node. Yeah. Yeah.
So your node has to be the destination.
Cool. Great. Awesome.
I have a question.
Great.
Should we use zero comp channels?
I think that's, between you and your accountant, maybe check in how much do you value being able to get the money that's promised you? Yep, that's exactly how many times you should probably, try using zero comp channels then, yeah. Yeah, anytime.
Like everything in Bitcoin at your own risk.
Yeah. It basically takes Lightning from being a trustless protocol to making it trusted for some amount of time. Question mark. If that solves your problems that you thought zero comp were going to fix, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, routing. Build route, improve. Sorry, routing. Improve build route robustness.
Yeah, so the description of this is that there's some unreliability in sub-SAT payments. So if you want to make sort of micro payments, then there's difficulty in that many nodes won't route them.
Oh.
And the route builders won't take note of that, and so they'll attempt payments over nodes that will not allow them.
So basically it sounds like their routing logic wasn't using the min HTLC number when picking a route.
Right.
I see.
And so if you're interested in these micro payments, here's an opportunity to make them reliable.
Right.
Given that they're reliable, or will be in the future.
I see. Right. Okay. That makes sense. That's cool.
And last on this series is Eclair is now removing the fixed width. I don't know if you got the page.
Yeah, this is actually kind of cool. I remember when we talked about this a long time ago in spec meetings. Makes me feel old. The legacy, so back in the day, when you had an onion message, every hop in the message was only allowed 65 bytes of data, and so it was fixed. And then at some point we changed it so that if you wanted to send a variable amount of data to a hop in the onion packet, you could do that. Only downside then is that you would lose some space for later hops. I believe that, I always get this number wrong, I think that you're allowed to make 20 hops. I think it's 20 or 21. I think it's 20. You can make 20 hops in a payment at 65 bytes is my understanding. But you rarely use 20 hops, so sometimes it's nice to be able to use some of the more space for other things. So we made it so that you get a variable stuff. And it looks like they're dropping support for the fixed length one.
Yeah, and CLN did this about 6 months ago, so obviously you're probably not relying on this, but if you are, it's good to know about that.
I don't think people build legacy payload onions anymore, which is cool. Okay, I think we're on to spec stuff, which is fun. I'll try and make this a little quick. I jokingly referred to this in here as Yoast Jaeger guns for mass chaos with negative fees. So this is a very small change. If you actually go look in the file, it's changed here. Did he, okay. So all that he's done, all that he's proposing that we do in this pull request for the spec is change this from a U to an I. How many of you know exactly what that means? I was like, okay, it's like more hands than I was expecting. So the U means unsigned integer of 32-bit size. The I should actually be an S for signed because the opposite, if this is a draft, it's fine. But the
Stands for integer.
no, it should be S for signed.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry, unsigned, signed. They're like, polar opposites. They're both integers, it's just one. Anyways, what he's trying to say here is signed. So the difference between an unsigned int and a signed int is that an unsigned int uses all 32 bits to represent a whole number, which is an integer, and an unsigned int leaves 1 bit off, is my understanding. So you can only do 31 bits worth of size data of a number. And that extra little bit is used to tell whether the number is positive or negative. So this little 2-line change, Yoast is proposing that we allow people to express negative rates for their channel capacity. It should be chaos, sign. It's a very controversial change. So basically, I believe this has largely been knacked as is. Cool, but it's just kind of, I don't know why it was.
This could be experimented on with like a subnet or something like that, right?
Or Signet, yeah, sure. Yeah, his justification is he would like to start experimenting with it, which is fair. But yeah, cool. Which led to, but then we had a conversation at the spec meeting on, I think that was on Monday, yes.
Could you implement it kind of backwards by routing it yourself?
How would that work?
Well, you forward a payment that ends up going, I didn't think this through, I'm sorry.
It's okay. That's okay. I'm just asking questions. But at the last spec meeting we had in, I want to say May, I had a proposal of how we might be able to ship a negative fees to the network. So I finally wrote it up yesterday, fun fact, and posted it to the mailing list. This idea of fee rate cards, which is your gateway to negativity. So this will basically be what I believe the first, we basically need rate cards before we can allow people to start expressing negative rates or something like it. Maybe there's a different way to do a similar thing. But basically, is there there's not a markdown version of this.
You could increase the size.
Oh yeah, I can increase the size. I don't think that's gonna make it look like markdown though. So basically what this does is it adds some more information to some gossip, but it adds 4 new numbers they're expressed as basis points, which means that we get to use a signed 16-bit integer, which means that these 2 fields are now the same size as the 2 fields that we're replacing, which is pretty cool. And basically, it lets you say with 4 numbers, kind of if my channel is in this capacity range, this is the rate I'm charging for that liquidity. If the channel is in this other range, this is the number I'm expecting you to pay me. So it allows you to kind of dynamically price the capacity of your channel in a static way. And we've given you the capacity to price these things at negative numbers. So the cool thing about that is one of the problems with just kind of going in for it, like Yoast was attempting to, excuse me, by just changing it to make it negative, is that it's very rare that you're going to want to price all of the channel capacity in the channel or liquidity at a negative rate, right? You're probably going to want to update it to a positive rate after you've achieved some capacity goal, question mark. So introducing negative rates to the gossip protocol would mean, I would assume, a explosion in the amount of gossip that's happening on the network. probably that scales with with the amount of payments that are happening on the network, if that makes sense. So if you're not familiar with Gossip, currently we send it to every node in the network. If you, so anytime a new Gossip message gets created, that's more bandwidth for every node on the network. So having a lot of Gossip come out is not a great thing to do. So just adding negative fees without having a way to like curtail the amount of Gossip that would probably generate is not an amazing idea. Yeah, and right, so like if you have a negative fee rate or if you're updating your fee rates based on your channel capacity, that means as soon as there's more payment volume on the network, the amount of Gossip is going to grow. So having a way to express how much you're charging based on the capacity in a static way means that hopefully the amount of Gossip that nodes are generating can stay low or quite low, but they're also but at the same time, they're able to do basically dynamic pricing of the liquidity. So the price will still change dynamically, but you don't have to tell everyone all the time when it's changing. You just publish a rate card, and that will dynamically change the price based on what your capacity is. Some other really cool things about this, it also makes it possible to kind of like price your payment based on how important it is, that it succeeds.
Have you thought about other ways of representing the numbers? Like you could have a continuous curve, for example?
Yeah, so that's a great question. People have asked me this. I think the thing about the continuous curve stuff is like, so there's a couple of things here. One is a routing algorithm needs to be able to figure out what price to pay for your hop in a route, right? And there's a bunch of hops. So any kind of function that we start using, like anything that's more continuous, is going to need to be expressed in a way that algorithm writers who are building routing algorithms will be able to use that as an input to their routing function, if that makes sense. So I don't think that maybe there are like a better way of creating like a pricing curve, but I think just for like, you know, a minimum viable thing, having like 4 evenly spaced buckets is easy to reason about. I also explain later, it's easy to reason about the information leakage of with 4 buckets, because
So is this the expectation, like, try 4 payments that each different bucket?
No, the expectation is sort of like nebulous in that it really depends on what your goal is as a routing algorithm. So if you've got a payment that's really important that it gets through, you would probably pay like one of the higher bands without even looking for what the capacity is. It's also cool. I also have in this like email, I talk a little bit about probing. So there's kind of a cool thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's good or bad, but I think it's kind of cool. Like right now, if you want to probe a channel, in order to successfully probe it, you have to consume the percentage of the channel that you're trying to judge the capacity of. Whereas with this, you could use like a small payment at a fee rate and get a similar amount of non-granular information about the success of a payment by consuming a small amount of channel capacity leading up to the particular link that you're interested in. So the example I give in my post is like you could use like 1,000 sat payment and easily figure out with like 3 different payments what probability your payment would have to go through any particular channel that's using the rate cards, which I think is like a pretty good improvement in terms of like, you know, for one thing we've been talking about a lot in Lightning around, particularly around channel balances, is how much information we think is like a good amount to be leaking. The more amount you leak, the more successful payments can be, which is good for the network. The more information you leak, the less private is, which is like questionably goodness for the network. So I like to think that this is like kind of a nice middle ground between like you kind of have an estimate of how much payment is available. You can find it out very lightweight way. But if you want to know exactly what the balance is, you're still going to have to use the older style way of consuming a lot of capacity in the direction. Yeah.
I think it would also be useful to have buckets, pricing buckets or fee buckets for the duration of the CLTV timeout. So that people who use lengthy HODL invoices, like Robosats uses them, you'd have to pay more if you're going to lock up my capacity for a long time.
Yeah. So pricing based on the amount of HTLC stuff.
Just the length of the CLTV lock time on that payment.
Yep, I think that's a great idea. I think that can definitely exist independently of this. Like, I don't think they're necessarily, like, one precludes the other necessarily.
Yeah, not matter, but just on the topic of buckets.
Yeah, that makes sense. More buckets, all the things. Cool, great. Okay, so that's that. That's on the mailing list. If you want to read all the words, they're all there. Great. Okay, I don't know what this is. This is something Jeff worked on, who's here. This is just like the Bolt 12 offer encoding and building thing. I don't know, I thought it's cool that Bolt 12 stuff is getting worked on across the ecosystem. It's been talked about for a very long time. It seems like every major project has cool stuff that they're doing. And Jeff has been working on the encoding and building API for Bolt 12s in LDK. So that's pretty cool. Good job, Jeff. But, yeah. It's what? Working on it now. Cool. Yeah. So, did I scroll too far? Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
I think it's this link.
This link?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, sorry. Okay. I see. Cool. Cool. That's cool. Anyways, Bolt 12's cool. It's coming to a Lightning implementation near you soon. TM. Okay, cool. Great. Let's wrap this up. We're taking a long time. Okay. Oh, this is cool. Okay, I didn't actually read this yet, but it's definitely on my to-read list. So this is a book that, I don't know, Gleb and Antoine put together. It lists kind of like their research that they've been doing on preventing channel jamming. Gleb came out with this cool, I think this is going to load the thing I think it is. Nah, yeah. Gleb last November had this really kind of cool long article on what is channel jamming, like what are the different ways you can get around it. I think one of the things that they mentioned is this like HTLC thing that Super was talking about, pricing HTLC delays or CLTV delays. But they've put together kind of a longer level book thing, and you can read through it if you're very interested in it. Oh, look, the grand conclusion is that channel jamming is a substantial risk, and here's some outlines of what they think are a good, oh, you guys probably can't read that. Outlines for what a good solution should look like. Guarantee you get compensated for locking up your liquidity, or costs a lot more to lock up liquidity. Great. Okay, cool. I'm gonna keep moving. Oh, okay, so this is cool and fun, and I was excited about this. So Nickler, Jonas Nick, who works with me at Blockstream and our research team, he's a pretty well-known cryptographer, researcher. He's announced that we are approaching a stable version of 1.0 of BIP Musig 2, which is really exciting for Lightning because until Musig 2 gets confirmed, we can't finish our move to Taproot output channels because we're relying on Musig 2, at least in our current implementation. I don't think that's going to change. Planning to use Musig 2 for Taproot channel outputs, but we can't get there until Musig 2 is done, and it sounds like it's getting close to being done. So this is all very exciting stuff.
Nice, and as we heard before, it'll be introduced in L&D in the next release, for example, and CLN, I imagine, as well. Soon, yeah.
Other thing, so we're actually downstream of our wallet project, which hasn't added it yet. I think they've been waiting for the BIP to stabilize. So we'll whenever our like library for doing wallet stuff gets it, we will add it after that. But that's where we are on that. I might just skip over this one. Yeah, this is like, I don't know, I put together like a little fun thing that like shows you how to figure out how much extra weight does doing a anchor output on a commitment. Wait, did you see make it bigger?
Yes.
Great. Does that work? I don't know if that works.
Do you want plus?
Wait, plus.
Vote to view, there's a
That works. Anyways, this is just like some rough numbers I threw together. It might be wrong, and I just wanted to make it like prettier and stuff, but it's fine. It's kind of cool to look at anyways. So basically, like we added anchor outputs, which are a little bit of a security improvement, but you can kind of see how much extra weight they cost and how much you can save based on the number of HTLCs that you have and the amount of fees that you're expecting to pay for a commitment transaction that goes to chain as a forced close. Right. Okay. Cool. That's kind of fun. I think I found out like at most anchor HTLCs, like if you do them in the most optimal way, will save you at most like 5% of the weight. That doesn't say anything about the actual like cost, but that's just like what is the cost to like the underlying blockchain of moving over. If you do like the least optimal thing, it'll actually cost you like 2% more in bytes you have to pay to get mined. But anyways, it was kind of I don't know, fun thing.
All right, what's up?
Yes.
Which of the following, which of the words in the following sentence are wrong? We currently have anchor outputs, but they're like the dust, they're based on the dust limit. And there's a proposal to make anchor outputs be available at a zero satoshi cost. Is that true? False?
I don't, yeah, so we can't move to zero cost anchor outputs without package relay. So it's that, what you just mentioned is gated behind package relay being available. Yeah. But I don't think that will change. That doesn't change the weight, right? So this isn't a cost in terms of sats. This is a cost in terms of like weight units, basically. And the cost of the anchor going to zero doesn't remove the need for the output to exist, which is still a weight.
We do currently have anchor outputs though, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Which is dust.
They're slightly above dust in sats, but they're also a weight as an output, right? So it costs like on chain, right? So this is just an analysis of the weight. So even if you put the sat value to zero, the weight will still exist as a thing.
All right, that does it for the news.
that
We
it?
do also have some links for talks from the
oh my
Baltic
goodness.
Honey Badger and an LSP working group. It's in the Notion doc, and you can look those up
Great.
on this time. Next up, we have Nifty giving
Oh
a
my
talk
God.
about Bookkeeper, et cetera.
Great.
So here's to that.
Cool. I'm gonna take like a 2-minute break if you guys wanna get some more food, get some more drinks, just like really quick, and then we'll come back, and then I will give a very quick live demo of some stuff. It's gonna be really exciting, I promise.
Nice.
Who provided our food today?
That's right.
Man.
Larry, yeah.
Larry. Thank you, Larry.
Yeah.
Dankeschön.
Larry was
Muchas
very
gracias.
modest, and he almost asked not to be identified, but obviously he was also
Muchas
serving up food,
obrigado.
so hard not to.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, man. Really proof of work right there, I think. Yeah. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna leave this up and get some water. let's, I think we're ready to go. Hopefully.
All
I
right,
can
welcome back
escalate
to the Austin Lightning Developers Meetup. Next up, we have Lisa giving us a talk about Bookkeeper and other features introduced recently to CLN.
Yeah.
Let's
You
all
can
welcome
see it.
Lisa
Okay, great.
for her presentation.
Hey everyone, let's go. All right. Cool. All right, guys. I'm back for round 2. This is going to be exciting. Okay, I'm going to do some live coding because that's fun. Let's see if I can make this like a little bit bigger. I'm always like, that might be, okay. I think this means I only get one screen. Oh no, I closed the wrong thing. That happens all the time. It's fine. It's cool. I can make it come back, I think. Great. Okay, cool. Index.html. That seems like a good place to start. Hey, everyone. Okay, cool. So as we talked about earlier today, Core Lightning just put out a new version of itself, which is awesome, version 0.12.0. It had 2 cool new things that I'm going to show off today. One is the Bookkeeper plugin, which is a little project I've been working on for a while now. Finally got shipped. Yay! Cool. So we're gonna look at some Bookkeeper data because it's basically a data project. It collects all the collects where all the money on that your node ever touches or owns or has responsibility for. It keeps track of that money when it comes in, when it goes out, when you get more of it, when you spend it and have less. So Bookkeeper is a pretty cool thing. It's got a really great data in it, but there's not a lot of really cool visualizations and stuff for it yet. So I wanted to show you how I would build maybe or start building what would be some kind of cool bookkeeping demonstration. Not demonstrations, bookkeeping, graphs and stuff. So I'm going to make a little graph today using Bookkeeper data, but I'm going to do it using something called the Commando plugin. So this is the other cool, exciting new thing that shipped in .12 for Core Lightning. It is basically it's a built-in new commands that let you create these things called runes. They're basically access tokens or authentication tokens, and you can give them a bunch of really cool. I'm not going to get the Ellen socket. Ellen socket. That's the demo. That's not Ellen socket. That's fine. Okay. But there's this command is basically this way that lets you talk to your node from a web browser. So you can directly from this node on this computer, I'm going to create a socket connection to my Lightning node, which lives in, I don't know, somewhere else in Texas, hand wave. Or maybe somewhere else in the world. I don't know. I don't know. I did. Cool. So basically, I'm going to do this using something that Will Casarin built called LN Socket, which this is the website side library that's going to let the web page pretend to be a Lightning node, and then it's going to talk to my node over the Lightning network. So it's going to directly connect from the browser here on my laptop to my Lightning node, which is somewhere else, over Lightning, talking Lightning, talking Lightning talk. And we're going to use this library to do it. So I've already got a little web page. And so I'm going to build a little web page that will show some Bookkeeper data. And it's going to go and it's going to fetch that Bookkeeper data over using a very secure, the same secure communication protocol that every Lightning node uses to talk to any other Lightning node. So it's the connection between my laptop and my Lightning node is going to be super secure, and it's going to let me ask my Lightning node for anything. So I can call any RPC command from the browser, and I'm going to use a commander rune to kind of restrict which RPC commands I'm allowed to call. And at the end of it, we'll get back some Bookkeeper data, and then I'll display it, which is super exciting. Okay, cool. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is basically I've made myself a little web app. Oh, I've also I can just go look at it. I pushed this up to the internet, so that's me. I don't know. I just pushed this thing recently. None of these things. This one. Okay, so it's here. Basically, this is just a little web app that I made. It's got an index.html page, which looks literally this. It says hello world. It's got some JavaScript that I'm importing. I don't know. This is very basic web app stuff. And then it's got some stuff. It's got a WASM file in here, which I loaded from the LN Socket project I was just showing you on GitHub, and some JavaScript. So this is both generated from the LN Socket project. I think this is literally empty. I don't think there's anything in my styles. And then I've loaded the d3.js file. This is going to help draw my chart. It's a chart drawing JavaScript library, but Basically, we're going to build out the code in this file, which is the demo.js thing. Okay, so I'm going to show you how this works. Now that we've kind of seen the structure of the stuff that we're dealing with, first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to start up a server in the same, so I'm in like the directory that I just showed you. The first thing you're going to do is start up a server using Python. That always works. So then you go to localhost. I think it's at 8,000. Yeah, okay, so this is my little app. Great, it looks cool. So hello world, cool, okay. Thank you. Great. Okay. So yeah. So it loaded a web page. That's cool. You're right. That is very cool. Hang on. So now I'm going to open up this like demo.js page. This is all the like app logic. This is where all the exciting stuff is going to do. So it's using that LN socket like WASM and kind of JavaScript library to make a command. So this is going to set up a connection to my node. I need to fill in some information here. I need to give it my node ID. You need your node ID to do like a Diffie-Hellman key exchange, which is how you set up the handshake to do the noise protocol, which is the encrypted communications channel that's going to exist between my laptop and my node. So I got to give it my node ID. Then I need to tell it where in the world to actually connect to my Lightning node. So I'm going to go fetch my WebSocket address off of my node. I've got it right here. And then this last little thing we need to fill in before this will work at all is the rune. Again, this is like the authentication token that will give me permission. So once I like have established a secure communication channel with my node and found it on the internet so I can actually talk to it, I need some authentication, which proves that my little web page over here has permission to ask questions of it, right? Okay, cool. So let's start filling in this information. I've already logged into my my little Lightning box. So I'm going to ask it for, I'm going to just get some info off my box. Let's see. Okay, so I need my ID. It's right here. Wow, that's cool. That's easy. This is all like, my Lightning node is like basically public info. And then I need the WebSocket address. So I'm going to use the IP4 like connection info. I'm going to put it in WS. Oh, not that. WS. WebSocket. Sure. Depends on what the question is.
Did you have to open up a port on your router in order to expose that IP, that connection?
Yes.
No. No.
Won't that, your browser's attempt to connect to your node, won't that get firewalled and killed?
No.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, because it's in the cloud.
No, my node's not in the cloud.
It's not in the cloud?
My node is not in the cloud. Okay. Great. Okay, so we were missing some important things here. I was not talking about it. So I got the IPv4 thing, and then for Core Lightning, I also need to give it the WebSocket port. Notice that this is different from the normal port. So every other Lightning node that's like a normal Lightning node is going to connect to my Lightning node over this port. But the WebSocket is listening on a slightly different port because it's a slightly different transport, which is cool. You can enable the WebSocket stuff in your config file. There's an experimental WebSockets thing for Core Lightning, so you need to add that, and then you'll get this little thing in your Git info, and that's how you know you've got WebSockets enabled, which is cool. Great. So I've put those two pieces together. Also, like say this WebSocket thing. Okay, so now I need a rune. I got the information out of there. Now I need to make a rune. So there's this new, so the Lightning CLI, there's a new command called commando rune. Again, this is of whatever, version 12. Command and rune, so command to authorize remote peer access. And so what's really cool about runes and what I think is like pretty expressive of them, I'll make this big so you can kind of see it, is you can set a bunch of restrictions on it. So you can set a restriction of how long, what time this like token is valid for, which peer ID is allowed to use this. So I have to be coming from like this ID, so to speak, so you can pick any node on the network and only give that particular node ID permission to call certain things. You can restrict it by what method, you can restrict the rate, you can restrict the number of the number of parameters on that method that are allowed to be like passed in. Anyways, it's got like a lot. You can say it has to be like this destination that you can send funds to or whatever. And it's got like a whole cool expressive format for expressing like these different parameters, so to speak. Not equals, starts with, et cetera, et cetera. So here's some cool examples. This is like Fine. Cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and make one. I've already like bookkeeper. So I want to talk to the bookkeeper stuff, but I think I'm gonna start with get info. So let's just make a rune that only is allowed to do get info things. So I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna put it in here. So this rune should, in theory, only allow me to call the get info command. So I have this little like blank thing here. I'm gonna fill this in. I'm making a request. I'm gonna fill in what, oops, not. Get info is the call that I want to make, and then all this is going to do when it says go. So this is some really janky JavaScript. It's fine. You can judge me for it. It's going to make a call. It's going to make an RPC call. It's going to call get info. It's going to get the data, and then it's just going to paste it directly into the browser. All right, let's see if this works. Dun dun dun. No, it's not working. Ah. Error starts with WS or WWSSSS. Pretty sure it starts with that. Did I do it the wrong //? No, WS // It looks right. It looks right, right? Right? I'm sorry? No, it's not a WSS because it's localhost, so it should be fine. All right, why don't you print out what you're not liking then? Make requests. What does that mean? Yeah, it's right here. Maybe I didn't actually save the thing. No, there it goes. Okay. Cool. Okay, so this is the same data we just looked at. The difference is when we were looking at this data on here, I called get info here. I'm like actually logged into my like physical computer thing here. Whereas here, I just like hanging out in Austin. This is like on my website, on my laptop. It just managed to fetch the exact same data, which is cool. Okay, so now the method that I actually want to call for this demo is like this bookkeeper demo, which is bookkeeper, I don't know, I'm going to say list income. So this will be like an income. This will be a list of all the income. So the income is like I've spent money or I've earned money that my node has ever done. The entire time that the bookkeeper like plugin has been running, so for a little while now. Cool. So I'm going to try to run this again, and it's not going to work. It's going to say undefined. That's because the rune that I have does not have permissions to call that endpoint. So it's like basically getting like an error back. So in order to call this, I'm going to have to make a new thing. I'm just going to scroll up until I find it. This one. So this one, I'm going to get a new rune with new restrictions. These restrictions are going to allow me to call any method that starts with bookkeeper, BKRP, whatever. Cool. Okay, so now all I have to do is take this fancy little rune and move it up into here. No, is that right? No, it's not right. No? Oops. Gosh. Cool. Okay, that looks good. Great. Now it should just magically work. Great. Look, it's all my income events. Isn't that cool? There's a lot of them. This is not a lot to look at. This is very like, okay, Lisa, cool, you got some data, and that's cool. Okay, so let's make it into something that we can like actually look at and learn things from. That would be cool. Okay, so I'm gonna have to type some JavaScript now. Great. So instead of just posting this in here, I'm gonna cheat. I already have some stuff over here, so okay, so first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna use some fake data, just because I want you to kind of get an idea about like what we're doing. So I'm gonna build a little chart. I'm gonna build a little chart using some fake data. I'm not even gonna use the result of that thing. JavaScript's great because it's not gonna yell at me about not using that thing. So now what's gonna happen is like as soon as that completes, I now get like a fancy graph. Isn't that graph fancy? Okay, it'd be even fancier though if I plugged in some data to it, right? So this is a little core graph that we've got going. People see, you can kind of see. So what's cool about the core graph is it kind of like, so this is as if I have like 3 nodes and they were sending payments back and forth. You can kind of see the volume of payments that's moving from 3 to 3, from 1 to 1. Okay, that wouldn't really happen, I don't think, with like a node. From 2 to 1, et cetera. And you can kind of see like the volumes bigger on one side or small on another. Okay, let's just plug this in so that it actually uses the, not fake data, let's use some real data. So I'm gonna go, again, find some code that I wrote that will filter out just the routed data from the thing that I built. And I think that's it. I think that's all we need. Okay. It's gonna work. I forgot to hit shift. No, it did not. It's gone forever. No. It magically stopped working. No. All the pieces worked up until then. It's fine. It's fine. Cannot read property of undefined filter in line 25 of routed e.tag res events dot filter. Oh wait for RBC call. Oh, I see. Is that? Maybe I'm calling the wrong thing. Maybe it's like list account events. I think I'm calling the wrong thing. That's fine. Okay, this should fix it. Great. Cool. Ta-da. Cool. Great. There it is. Nice. Yeah, so these are like all my channels, and this is all the volume of payments that's been routed between them. So like this guy sent a lot over there, and these guys kind of have like an equal thing going, and yeah. Anyways, that's it. That's the chart. Cool. Thank you. I don't know. Okay. Are there any questions? I don't know. I can like. Yeah, that's right. All the code is up here at Bookkeeper Demo. No.
So if someone were making a product of this, you could imagine, I guess, supplying your own rune to the...
Yeah, so I feel like so what I would imagine is like, so I mean, it depends on how like Lightning Network aware your app is. Like you could, like mine is not very aware, right? It just like literally has just this LN socket stuff. All you need is a rune, a connection string, and a, well, this is not totally true. You need a rune, a connection string. You have to do it over web secure sockets. So you need like a cert, and I'm still figuring out exactly how to get the cert. TBD, I will be posting more information as soon as I get it out of my teammate who has all the cert information in his head. Or this one, yeah. Right. So I need to get like, yeah. So basically you need a rune. You're going to need a cert just to make the WebSocket stuff work, which is annoying because Lightning does its own secure stuff, but web browsers are built in such a way these days that you need sockets. But if you wrote like a Go app or like, because LN Socket also has like a Go implementation or a C implementation. So if you had a Go app where you wanted your Go app to talk to a Lightning node, you wouldn't need the cert part. Anyways, that's just like a web-only browser thing. Anyways, so you need a rune and you need the node to connect with and then how to connect to them. And then if it's like secure stuff, you'd need some cert thing, I don't know, handwave. I'm going to figure it out, I promise, and we'll write it up. Yeah, but those are the things you need, right? Yep. Cool. Right.
Is there a query language for Bookkeeper, or do you just get...
JSON?
Yeah. You just get...
There's JSON?
You just return like JSON or... Okay.
Is JSON not a query language?
No.
Okay. I think some of the Bookkeeper commands, I don't know, I'd have to, who wrote this thing? I don't know, it was me, it's fine. Like I don't know, hang on, there's like Ellen, help, and then grep for Bookkeeper, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work either, that well. So these are all the like things you can do. So this one has a start and an end time that you can do it by, which will make it such that you could page it by start and end time, because that one I was actually thinking about it, but like that's the only one that has that. I mean, you can also do it for this cool CSV. It also has CSV dumps that are awesome. You can dump it to like, if you have Coinly or Coin Tracker, it'll automatically dump it in the format that you can then automatically upload to your like Coinly thing. So then it'll just like tell you where you spent money and earned money on your Lightning node for like however long Bookkeeper's been running, which is cool. You get like a nice little GUI like UI thing. And it'll calculate all your cost basis stuff. So if you have to pay taxes on stuff, it'll all be there. Yeah, pretty sweet. And you can also get that in JSON format on this one. Anyways. Yeah, no, I don't. What is a query language? Why would you want a query language? Yeah, you can use that one on the JSON, son of J. And parsing it, I see. Yeah, you work on the client side, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, you could. That's true. Yeah, it is a SQLite database, unless you're even able to Postgres, in which it will be written in as Postgres, in which case, yeah. No, but there's not a thing, but we could add that. Yeah, yes.
I see a list income command. Are you going to add list expenses?
Expenses are considered negative income, so they get reported in the income thing along with all the other income, which is positive. So positive and negative income get reported in the income command.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay, great. Thank you everyone for hanging out and answering questions. What's next for our, do we have a last act? Are we gonna wrap it up? It's almost 9.
That's it for tonight, and we are taking a break next month due to TabConf, which coincides with our regularly scheduled meetups. So we'll be back in November.
Cool. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
See you in November. Yeah.